Hi folks, you're with Tacitus Today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about some media articles doing the rounds that are talking about the decline in German industrial manufacturing and what the possible implications of this may be, and indeed what the remedies of this may be. How can Germany get back onto being a premier producer of value-add engineering goods? Now, the articles all which suggest they're centrally scripted and distributed as propaganda rather than a desire to inform. But there's three directions that this propaganda goes in. I mean, German industrial production has been affected by COVID and the lockdowns, by the abrupt increase in energy costs, Green New Deal, all this sort of thing, and so that's there's no disputing that. But the remedies these activists, which again are all shills for the World Economic Forum and so on, they say, well, Germany has to drastically increase mass migration, not mass migration of advanced people with an advanced tertiary education who are already skilled and experienced in relevant fields that will be helpful to the German economy. No, you don't worry about them. It's mass movement of peasants, illiterate peasants who are illiterate in their own language, and you move masses of those into Germany. Somehow that's going to magically fix the workforce issue. So and it's going to supply lots of highly skilled labour. It is an illiterate peasant from the third world who's never had a job, who's never worked, who maybe has had no schooling at all, or one year in some bush school out in the middle of nowhere. That's the solution. And the other solution is to go even harder on the Green New Deal. More windmills and more solar panels and so on, and that'll solve it, because as these amateurs and idiots keep saying, well, energy from the wind and the sun, it's free, it costs nothing, so therefore it must be cheaper. The infrastructure there to capture that energy and deliver it to the factories, which are very energy intensive. The advanced manufacturing in Germany is very, that's going to be cheaper. No, it's not. It's going to be drastically more expensive than any other energy source that Germany's got access to. We can't go nuclear because that upsets the Greens, and so we have to. It's alternative energy only, and and if you want gas from Russia, it means you're a stooge and a friend of Putin, you fucking Nazi. So they're really having them in there. It has to be windmills and solar panels, and that's going to be cheaper and better somehow, but that's not explained. How will the illiterate peasants from the third world contribute to an advanced technological economy? That's also not explained. But another point here is that even the migrants that come to Germany, illegal or otherwise, they're not being sufficiently welcomed. So the German nation has to be more welcoming of illiterate third world peasants, because and there's a threat to that by the German people that don't want this. They don't want to import millions of welfare parasites. Obviously, no country would. But if that's said or asserted in any way, then you're voting for the AfD. And if you vote for the AfD, that means you're Hitler, far right. So the remedy, these people say, is, well, you've got to bring in far more illiterate peasants, have to be far more welcoming. You have to get rid of the AfD, make them illegal somehow, because that protects democracy. Nothing like protecting democracy. Nothing like just banning a major political party. That really protects democracy. And then going even harder on the Green New Deal, which would drive up the cost of energy and also would be far less reliable. Now, Germany, just to put Germany into perspective here, the German industrial or advanced manufacturing, in terms of value-add manufacturing, Germany is probably the most successful economy in the world, maybe alongside Japan, but certainly on a per capita basis, the most successful economy in the world at producing advanced value-add engineered goods. whether this is lathes, machine tools, nuclear reactors, chemical, you name it, across pretty much every area of engineering, the German economy is producing in terms of quality, value add, engineered goods. It's a premier player in that league. And the German wealth of the German state and all this sort of thing is reflected in that. I think every time I've gone to Germany, I've been very impressed. You go through these smaller industrial estates, just the expertise of the people, their knowledge, their training, ranging from the engineers, design engineers, the technical support people, and even the technical sales people. They're very good. Or certainly the ones I've come across. Until recently, it's a big change. I went in Australia. I went to go to an industrial. It's a government quango, but to an industrial sort of assistance organisation, I guess you could call them, and it was wall to wall political correctness. Completely unqualified women and minorities everywhere. There wasn't a single qualified person, not one, to talk to there. And yet these people had the pivotal job of really arranging for the export of German technology around the world. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. Now I dealt with that organization 10, 12 years previously, and I was in awe about how good they were. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I was back there that there was not a single qualified person. Everybody was an affirmative action appointment. And just a professional two-bit flunky bureaucrat rather than having any expertise in the field. They didn't know a first thing about German industrial production or engineering. And I mean zip, nothing. And it was a sad and pathetic indictment of where Germany's heading, if that indeed is a reflection of where it's going. So these media propaganda pieces argued that Germany's population is getting older, people are retiring earlier, and therefore the only solution to that is, again, mass migration of illiterate peasants. Should they encourage people to stay in the workforce longer? No. These highly expert engineers. No, that's not the illiterate peasants are the answer. And you disagree with that, you fucking Nazi. So that illiterate peasants are going to replace people with maybe 30 or 40 years experience, at the apex of value-add engineering. What a fucking absurd notion that is. So do you want to keep those people in the workforce longer? No, they're straight and white. Get the fuck rid of them. We're ushering in a nirvana, a new paradise. Get rid of those motherfucker white people. So that's do we want to rejig the education system in any way and try and get more people into these fields of expertise by maybe on-the-job training or different combinations of apprenticeship and no. Anything that involves more efficient use and extra use of white people is to be frowned upon. White people are to be replaced by illiterate brown peasants. And again, if you've got a problem with that, you are a fucking Nazi. So the whole thing was really about forcing out white people from the German economy. Now, so somehow this means that the German economy is going to they still have this idiotic vision that the German economy in terms of its value add and so on, is going to just keep on motoring along where it is, even though you replace the highly skilled and competent people with illiterate brown peasants. In the eyes of the Marxist socialist sort of interracial nirvana and all this sort of thing they see, they don't believe that competence or no differences exist between the people. The illiterate brown peasant from the third world has exactly the same human value as the triple PhD from the first world. They have the same human value. This means they have the same value in every way: intelligence, IQ, productive capacity, knowledge, everything is the same. So if you change one for the other, it's no different. It's the same. So these are the idiotic things they push around, but really it's all propaganda, and Germany continues down the path it's going, fully scripted and encouraged and cheered on by the globalists. Then I can imagine the the situation in Germany in terms of its capacity to maintain the wealth level is going to be severely impaired. You've been a Tacitus today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.